another Bakugan Geogan Rising deck profile. This time it is a subscriber requested deck profile, just like yesterday's video, which was really fun to do. I'm really liking it. Really cool concept, and if we could keep it going all week, that would be awesome. It would definitely make for a cool series. So comment down below if I've unboxed any Bakugan you would like to see in a deck profile. I will make it, and possibly it could be uploaded the very next day. Not a whole lot to talk about today before we get right into the video. Just want to say thank you to all of the amazing members of my Bakucrew, or my subscribers. We are at 75 now. I mean, wow. Like, I can't believe it. Like, this channel is growing huge, and it's just so awesome, which is why, obviously I'm working on decoration, I'm working on video quality and all that, just to make things better for everyone, because, like, I'm so ecstatic. This has been amazing. I'm definitely enjoying it, and I'm hoping everyone is enjoying the content that I am creating. That being said, I'm happy to announce that the winners of my first giveaway have both got their prizes. If you guys are watching, please comment down below, let everyone know you did in fact got them, because I know you both reached out to me. Very cool. I just want the community to know you did indeed get your prizes. That being said, moving along, we are currently in the second giveaway. I have one planned for December, January, February. After that, I do have some announcements to make. I'm looking forward to that because there will be more giveaways, of course. Other than that, I think that's all the news for today, so let's go ahead and jump right into an awesome deck profile. So this one obviously is a Darkus Pyrus deck. It was requested, like I said before. The Geogun were not. I just added those in to showcase them because I don't think I've used them a whole lot before in previous deck profiles. But the Bakugan themselves were requested. I was very interested in this deck. I have worked with Pyrus and Darkus faction decks a lot, especially on the channel as far as deck building goes. So it was definitely a challenge to make something unique that stood out, but still using the same exact card pool. I hope it is different than all of my other decks. I hope there's a little variety here, and yet still competitive, but I will let all of you be the judge of that. So starting off, we will take a look at the character cards. Excuse me. We do, of course, have Pyrus Jetra, who is double shield, B power 500, 4 damage, and if it lands on an orange shield, it gets plus 400 B power. Really nice. Just a preview, this is a full magic shield deck, as the intro said. Or not magic shield, full orange shield deck. So that is also a challenge with deck building, because I did not have a lot of core that really went well that they're just orange, Following that is Nelius Ultra. It is double orange core, B power 500, 3 damage. It does have built-in reroll, makes it awesome. And if it lands on an orange core, it gets plus 7 damage. So definitely a good damage Bakugan. And then finally, it is Darkus Oxidox. It is double orange shield as well, B power of 200, 8 damage, so chunky damage. And then if it lands on an orange shield, it gets plus 600 B power. Not bad at all. It is a well-rounded orange shield deck. My only concern is the core lineup, but that is my fault. I do not have a lot of cores that are good for Darkus and Pyrus. I know in Battle Planet, sorry, I have something in my throat. I know in Battle Planet, they had the Pyrus and Darkus faction cores that gave bonuses to both of them at the same time. But I don't have any, like I don't have any of the old ones, which are the gray, and I don't have any of the newer ones, which are the white bordered, that do that. So I just don't know if they stopped making them, or I'm just unlucky and I don't get the sets. But definitely let me know down below if you know which sets to get those core, because if you had 6 plus 400 to Pyrus and Darkus Bakugan, you'd be set. Like, that is what you would want, no doubt, on this deck profile. That being said, I'm not running that because I don't have that. What I do have is 3 plus 300 B power orange shields. You definitely could run 6. There's nothing wrong with just running a full 6 plus 300. But I did want some variety in this deck list, and not just kind of a boring old 6 of everything, 3 of this. I do want some differences. So to switch things up, I am using the plus 50 B power and plus 1 damage orange shield. Definitely wouldn't be good if your opponent landed on it, but again, if your Bakugan land on it with the B power buffs, it does make it a little better. Not the best competitive wise, but helps you more than your opponent, and that's what I was getting at with this core. Same with this one, being an only plus 150 B power, not that strong. The reason I have this core in the deck is because it does have Baku Gear minus 2 energy. I am currently not running any Baku Gear in the deck profile right now, but I might switch up the deck profile in the future. I might edit it, work on it, so I just have it in here as kind of a maybe if in this slot. And then I do run the 1 minus 300 B power trap core just cause. I thought it's always fun to have an opponent land on a trap. Of course, it's never fun if you land on it, which is what I do, hands down, every time. No joke. If I have a trap core in my deck, I'll land on it, and it'll be all over because of that one core. Maybe you're not like me. Maybe you're a lot luckier. I don't know, but I'm trying it anyway. We will go ahead and take a look at the toy figures, or the game pieces, as I like to refer to them. Starting off with the cool Pyrus Jetra. Here he is. Very neat. Previewed and unboxed him on the channel, so it was really cool to be able to make a deck of a form so quickly. Following that is the Darkest Boy Oxidox. I feel like I've shown him like at least 6 or 7 times. He is in like a lot of deck profiles, mainly because I like him, and apparently all of you do too, and that is just awesome because Oxidox certainly is strong enough to be a fan favorite. And he's Darkest, like who doesn't like Darkest? Third, but certainly not least, we do have the quote Alpha Nelius. Of course, it's not Alpha Nelius, it's just Nelius. But for those of you who know the original series, Alpha Hydronoid, just so paying homage there. I don't care what anyone says, that's what they were going for. Total mimic all the way. But that doesn't make Nelius any less cooler of a Bakugan. He certainly has his own merits, no doubt about that. And like I said before, I do run Geogun in the deck profile. Pretty simple, nothing huge. We just got 2 Suraton, we have the Pyrus, and Darkus. So pretty cool. We'll get into them later on with their character cards, of course. They do have little manual feet in the front and back. I don't want to spend too much time opening them up. I'll open the front ones, and we will set them out. Alright, so there is the team. We went through the cores, we looked at the stats. All that's left is looking at the deck profile. So, let's go ahead and jump right into that, shall we? 1 Darkest Slayer, 1 energy for 200 B power and 2 damage. So again, try to keep this deck as different as possible. There are some clanky one-ofs that are just utility. Otherwise, I did what I could, honestly. Working with a lot of Pyrus and Darkest decks that are different and just trying to keep them different with a limited card pool. Very interesting, but not complaining. It's just quite a challenge. Next up, Fire Floor, 1 energy for plus 2 damage and scan. Rack of Fury, 1 energy for plus 3 damage and scan. 2 Thunderbolt, 1 energy for plus 3 damage. 2 Darkest Dread, 2 energy for plus 100 B power, 1 damage, and you get to draw a card, so we do have a little card draw for the deck with that card. Again, we do have some more card draw with Pyrus Spike, 2 energy for plus 4 damage, and you get to draw one, then discard a card. So a cheap way to filter through the deck and give you a decent amount of damage early on in the game. Next up is 2 Searing Strike for 2 energy, it's 400 B power. There is a lot of 2 cost energy cards in the deck. That is important because this deck makes use of Monstrous Surge, which we will get into shortly. Shadow Slicer, 2 energy for plus 400 B power, and you get to scan. I opted to run that and the Geogan instead of the Throw Anything. Here is the first Geogan, Surturin, 2 energy for 1100 B power, 4 damage. If he lands on an orange shield, he gets plus 400 B power, so that's what he's for in this deck. Just a quick bump there, and then if he lands on a magic shield though, he does get double strike. So in the off chance your opponent is using a magic shield and you feel like you've got the B power in the bag, go ahead and steal it and get in with that damage. Why not, right? Next up, we have 2 triple blazing barrage, 2 energy for plus 200 B power, 2 damage, and you get to scan. Following that, we have a 1 of dual strike, 3 energy for double strike, and you can reroll your Bakugan. So just another reroll card. I definitely would run more of these if I had it. I probably would run a full 3. I just only have the 1 though. Then Magma Shield, because we do have orange cores, so 3 energy for plus 3 damage, and if that Bakugan is holding an orange shield, double strike. So just another way for us to get double strike very easily in this deck. Again, more double strike. So we have Pyrus Spark, 3 energy for 300 B power, and double strike. I guess you could say that is a slight sub-theme of the deck. We do have a damage double strike type ordeal going on here. And then Trailing Dragon, 3 energy for plus 200 B power and 4 damage. The deck definitely stacks small increments of B power later on in the game. You just have to live until you get that far. Don't know what's going on, man. I have the hiccups here off camera. It's awful. I need to have a water bottle in the studio or something. Then here's the card I mentioned before, Monstrous Surge, 4 energy for 800 B power, but it has the sync effect or ability. You may reveal a card in your hand that costs 2 energy for plus 4 damage. So that's why there's so many cards that cost 2 in here. You definitely want the plus 4 off of this card, because 4 energy is a lot for only 800 B power, but when you get that extra damage, it makes it a little better in my opinion. Of course, as you all know, I do use that card in tandem with the Darkest Night Bakugear card for even better shenanigans, but I didn't want to put this in the deck profile because I felt like I've used that combo a lot, and I wanted to try something different with this one. Then we have Nuclear Pummel, which is 4 energy for a solid plus 10 damage. Not a lot to it, just, a lot of damage. Really good. The final Geogun of the deck is the Darkus Pyrus, 4 energy for a B power of 1700 and 6 damage. So no effects or abilities on him, he's just got a lot of B power. Not too bad for his cost. But again, I did want to try out some new Geogun, different cards, different strategies, because I do want to keep things different for everyone. Then we're getting into the 5-drop cards, which I have 3 of. Cinder Coil, 5 energy to destroy all enemy heroes. If your opponent plays them, that's a good way to just burn them all up. Energy Drain to put your opponent back a little bit. It's 5 energy, you uncharge 3 energy cards an opponent controls, and then they do not recharge at the end of the turn. So just kind of puts an opponent back, puts you ahead, could give you an advantage. I might have ran another one if I had one, but I do only have the 1 of again. But I could see using that card strategically probably, and it could get nasty. Then Hypno Flash, 5 energy for plus 700 B power. You may draw 2 and then discard 2. So card draw on top of a B power buff. Not bad, but higher energy cost, which is why I only ran the 1 of. This deck does use a lot of flips because a lot of the flip cards in the deck have special different interactions. There are 10 of them, but a lot of them you've seen, so I'll try to keep it quick. Pyrus Stopper Slammer, 1 energy to block a Pyrus Refusion. Weapons of Darkus, 1 energy to stop a Darkus Refusion. Double Black Hole, 3 energy to end the turn, nothing else can happen. You start the next turn, cards cannot be played, remaining damage vanishes, and energy cards do not recharge. I cannot stress this enough, make sure you play this card at the right time. I have played it, left myself with no energy, my opponent had it all, and then I was just lost the following turn automatically. Definitely have to know what you're doing if you play this card, but otherwise it is super awesome in any deck that uses Darkest. There we go. Then I have a Block Outsiders, 3 energy to block non-Pyrus Bakugan. Burning Cloud, 4 energy to block a non-fusion Bakugan. If you do, make a Pyrus Bakugan attack for 2, which when you use a Pyrus, why not? Then I do have Creeping Darkus, 4 energy to block a non-fusion Bakugan, and if you do, choose a player to discard a card. So the discard theme is not a part of the deck, but I did want some versatility with my flip cards, and I wanted to show one I don't use a whole lot. So that's why it's in here, as opposed to something else like Crescent. What is it? Crescent Surge or something? I don't know. But different card, new cards. Fierce Termination, it is also 4 energy to block a non-Pyrus Bakugan and Fury. If you have no cards in hand, this is free. Doubt it'll come up in this deck, but you never know. Shadow Breath, 4 energy to take control of a hero. If Cinder Coil fails and you can't blow them all up, just take control of them. Why not? That was the idea there. And finally, to finish up this deck list, we do have Pyrus Dominance, 5 energy to block a non-Pyrus Bakugan and destroy an energy card. So not very bad at all in my opinion. Definitely was kind of a challenge, like I keep saying, making a Pyrus Darkus deck again and again with different ones. Definitely would be cool to find new cards. Hopefully I will in the future. But again, not complaining. I'm really happy that you suggested this deck profile. It was fun to make. And I want to encourage everyone to do so. So like I said at the beginning of the video, if there's something I've unboxed that you want to see in a deck profile, comment down below and I will get right on it. But that'll do it for today's episode or video show, whatever you want to call it. I had a blast. I hope you enjoyed watching. See you next time, and remember, Bakugan Brawl!